Yo, what's up, guys? I just got done watching the Bulls beat the Raptors, and let me say, the end of that game was really ugly. It was really sloppy, but nonetheless, a W is a W. Definitely leave a like on today's video for yesterday's W. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and leave some comments and questions below today's video, because in today's video, I'm going to be talking about some rumors and some interesting topics that have been going around. But nonetheless, let's just jump right into it. You know, the Bulls are 4-0. They just beat the Raptors as I'm recording this video. Demar and Zach played a really good game. Honestly, all the Bulls played really solid, even though the fourth quarter was pretty ugly. But nonetheless, the Chicago Bulls are 4-0 for the first time since the 1996-1997 season. You know, I'm happy. I mean, the Bulls haven't really played any great games yet, but it is still the start of the season. It's been some ugly games, but wins are wins, so I'm happy. The Chicago Bulls are also the only undefeated team in the Eastern Conference. The Bulls are the first seed. You know, like I said, these past few games have been kind of ugly. There's been some bad moments, but nonetheless, this team has been a lot of fun to watch. The schedule is going to start getting tough here soon, so that'll be a real test for this team. I'm just excited. It's fun to watch the Bulls again. They're winning games. Zach finally won 4 straight games in a row for his career. Everything is positive news right now. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video about the Bulls being 4-0. But nonetheless, let's just jump right into the rumors and the first topic that I wanted to talk about. You know, for the past week or so, Thaddeus Young's wife has been on Twitter, and she's been talking about the possibility or opportunity of him possibly getting traded from the Spurs. And I know there's been a lot of Bulls fans, and she's been responding to a lot of Bulls fans, especially because there was a lot of rumors about how Greg Popovich didn't play Thaddeus Young the other day. And his wife has been talking to a lot of Bulls fans on Twitter, and even like throwing up some photoshops of him in Bulls jerseys. Well, I guess not in Bulls jerseys, but like Boston Celtics jerseys and such. It seems like, you know, him and the Spurs whole system might not end well. But nonetheless, Bulls Scripted was talking about this whole topic and situation. And I saw a bunch of people on Twitter and Facebook talking about this as well. And he said, pay the man most of his money and let him come back to where he belongs in Chicago. You know, the Spurs should have never asked for him in a trade if there was no intention to play him. You know, at least on a rebuilding Bulls team, Thad always had an extended role as a player. And of course, he's an amazing vet. And I agree 100%. I know Thaddeus never wanted to get traded. He loved Chicago. He loved all the Bulls fans. He loved playing in Chicago. He loved playing with one of his best friends in Zach LaVine. And I can see that with his wife. I mean, his wife has talked about Chicago, and she's been just kind of talking about this whole situation on Twitter. And if this opportunity ever truly does, I'd say present itself, the Bulls have to try and get this man back. You know, I wish we could have traded Marko into the Spurs and kept Thaddeus Young. I believe he'd be a perfect fit for this roster. I still don't understand why the Spurs wanted to trade for him. You know, I guess he does have some value, but I really don't understand why the Spurs aren't playing him. I definitely could see the Spurs trade him, I'd say soon, or around the trade deadline, or maybe even buy him out around the trade deadline. So it'll definitely be interesting to see if the Bulls are, I'd say, linked to him. You know, there's been a few Bulls fans like questioning this whole topic, asking if the Bulls could bring him back. You know, Chicago is a place where Thad and his family have recent ties, and especially if he's bought out around the trade deadline, I could see Brooklyn or any of the LA teams and Chicago being interested in him. And Bleacher Report just put out this article just the other day as well. They were naming like the top 10 most likely players to get traded for this upcoming season. Thaddeus Young was there, and they also talked about the whole topic because the Spurs played 13 of their 14 players during their season opener win against the Magic, and Thaddeus Young was the only player that did not play. I just don't understand why they trade for a good veteran like him to not play him. If the Spurs do in fact put him on the trade market, or say they do come to a buyout agreement, I would expect the Bulls to be very interested in trying to get him back on this roster. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about that first topic. And the next topic in today's video is obviously some more Coby White trade rumors. You know, I've seen so many Bulls fans talking about this whole situation, wanting the Bulls to trade Coby White. I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen it on Facebook. I've seen many articles. I've seen many rumors. I've seen many NBA analysts make articles and talk about this whole topic. And Coby White was called a top trade target. And Mike Scotto of Hoops Height discussed this. He was talking about like a potential trade piece for every NBA team, the likely trade targets for each team. And he was talking about Coby White, of course. He said he was expected to return from shoulder surgery in November. You know, the Bulls obviously added Lonzo Ball, and I believe Coby could be a deadly six-man off the Bulls bench. And he then said, following the offseason additions of Lonzo Ball, Demar, and Alex Caruso, he said Coby White could be expendable. I think Coby could get moved if they feel like they need a true piece, as one NBA executive predicted. He also said, I like Coby. He's a guy who needs to get into a situation where he can play. You know, Coby is still under contract for 2 seasons. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure why a lot of Bulls fans want to trade Coby. I believe he's going to be deadly off the Bulls bench, maybe even in Six-Man of the Year talk conversations. I could see that. A backcourt of him and Caruso pairs so well together. And I really don't understand the quote he said. I like Coby. He's a guy who needs to get into a situation where he can play. You know, this Bulls bench, I love the depth on this roster. I love the Bulls bench, but they're really missing Coby White's offensive firepower off the Bulls bench. I really just don't understand why we would trade him. I believe he's going to be deadly off the Bulls bench. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video about that topic as well. And the final topic in today's video is about Patrick Williams. You know, I've seen on Twitter and Facebook, he's gotten in so much hate, and I've even seen some Bulls fans want to trade him and already called him, have been calling him a bust. And I don't understand that either. You know, I've also seen Bulls fans wanting the Bulls to bench him. You know, Casey Johnson and Billy Donovan kind of like defended him in the other day. And I think NBA fans tend to forget Patrick Williams is still super young. I believe he's only 20 years old. He missed training camp. You know, he's been playing some minutes at the 5. Billy Donovan praised his work ethic and his patience, and I don't understand why we should trade him or bench him or why he's a bust. You know, he's still super young. He's playing with, I'd say, 3 all-stars on this roster. He's not going to have that many opportunities to score the ball, you know, but I do understand he's not that aggressive still. I'd like Patrick to be more aggressive. You know, Billy did say he plans to continue to try calling some more sets and plays for Williams, you know, to force him into action. Billy Donovan also talked about using Patrick Williams as a screener and especially even some minutes at the center position, so it'll be interesting to see that. You know, if you guys want to trade Patrick Williams or however you guys feel about him, let me know below today's video. I believe the sky is still the limit for him. Obviously, the opportunities are not going to be there with LaVine, Demar, Vucevic, and Lonzo. I would like to see Billy Donovan play, I'd say Patrick Williams with the bench more often so he can be that number 1 guy out there. But nonetheless, I feel like Bulls fans are just overreacting and hating on him too much. You know, he's been dealing with a few injuries for this offseason, and he's never really been hurt in his career. I like Patrick Williams. I like Coby White. I don't know why Bulls fans want us to trade him, or both of those guys, I'd say. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about all the topics I talked about. If you guys want Thaddeus Young back on this roster, what the Bulls should do with Coby White and Patrick Williams. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a good one.